At the start of the week, reports suggest that David Moyes has 4 games to save his job as Hammers gaffer. Now, this is just David Sullivan tactics. This is straight out of the David Sullivan chairman handbook. When a manager of West Ham United is under pressure, leak that he has Y amount of games to save himself. Y could be anything, but usually 3. 3 is David Sullivan's favourite go-to number for having a manager to save himself. It's happened under Moyes previously. It's happened under Pellegrini, Bilic, Alda. It goes back. This is what David Sullivan does. And I think the reason David Sullivan does it is because he thinks he's giving the fans what they want to hear. This is his way of trying to say to the fan base, oi, we know you're unhappy, but David Moyes is now on the naughty step. We've given him a little row. Said, oi, gaffer, buck up your ideas or you're off. You've got Y amount of games to save yourself. I think he thinks this is his way of telling the fans he's not happy with how things are going and the manager is now under pressure. We might sack him. I don't believe it for a second. Like I said, we've seen it plenty times before. It's just indirect, empty threats. It's almost like he's got plausible deniability. Say, I never said that. There's no quotes there. That came out across various outlets, but I never said anything. But it happens under every single manager. When the same thing happens time and time again, I'm willing to believe it actually happens. I think journalists make some things up. Of course I do. I'll sit here and say when I think things are made up. But like Thomas Souček supposedly joining Inter Milan on a free despite the fact he'd signed a new contract with it. That was just journalism making things up. But this, I don't believe they do make it up. I do believe that someone at the club suggests that David Moyes has got 4 games to save himself. Now, he's been quite generous. Usually it's 3. I think he's got the extra one because he's probably looked at the fixture list and thought, oh, yep. The next 4 games we could win if you discard form, player availability and whatnot and just look at it as to who your opponents are. Could we win those? Yeah, we probably could. 5th one, 6th one. Oh, no. Newcastle, Villa, scratch that. Give him those 4. He can have them 4 games. Saying that, he only got 2 back in December, didn't he? Once we got spanked by Fulham, it was the board were monitoring the next 2 games very closely. I mean, what does that even mean? But regardless, we won those. Can kicked down road. And that's why I think David Sullivan does it. I think that's why the 4 games are here. Because I think Sullivan's probably hoping, what is ideal for David Sullivan in the next 4 games? That we pick up enough points that he doesn't have to make a decision. Pick up 6, 7 points. Doesn't have to do anything. Doesn't have to give him a new contract. Doesn't have to sack him. Perfect. No big decision for David Sullivan to make. Can kick down road. That's what Sullivan's ideal is over the next 4 games. Because, and the reason I don't believe it is because A, we've seen it 100 times before, but B, there's no specifics. What has to happen in the next 4 games? So if he's got 4 games to save himself, what does he have to do in order for him to be sacked? 4 defeats? 1 point, 2 point? What does 4 points mean? Is 4 points enough for him to keep going? I think it probably will. I'd imagine if he gets 4 points, obviously it depends how, but if he gets 4 points, we'll be having this conversation again. Moyes has got 3 games to save himself. He'd probably only get 3 that time. I don't know, but there's never specifics attached to that rumour. It's just 4 games to save his job. That's it. There's no specifics, and that's why I don't believe it. But I think the next 4 Premier League games and 2 European games are crucial. The next 6 games are absolutely crucial. Not necessarily for Moyes. Maybe, but I don't think so. Like I said, if we pick up 4 points, I think he'll still be here. If we win all 4, will he get a new contract off the back of that? I don't think so. I bloody hope not. Will he get sacked off the back? Maybe. If we lose all 4, then maybe he will get sacked. But I think we'd have to possibly fail, not win a game and lose at least 2 of them. So picking up 2 points maximum. Then I think he might get sacked off the back of these 4 games. Do I think that'll happen? Probably not. I know at the minute, given everything, it looks like you struggle to see where the next win's coming from. I certainly struggle to see where the next win's coming from. But I look at the next 4 fixtures and think, surely we'll win one of them. Surely. Even just law of averages. I think we might get 5 points, 6 points. Optimistic Gio says 7 points. Do I believe it? Not necessarily. But if we beat Nottingham Forest, suddenly can you get 4 at the next 3? Yeah, maybe. Big ifs. But this is what we're dealing with. Hypotheticals. And this is why I think it's a crucial period for West Ham. Now, I'm putting Moyes to one side here. Forget Moyes. Well, I am. I'm forgetting Moyes here. The next 6 games are crucial for West Ham. Because I will always put West Ham before anybody. Whether it be Sullivan, Moyes, a player, whatever. West Ham comes first. West Ham are bigger than any individual. And one thing I've never been able to do or have done or want to do, and a lot of people do it, and I get it, you don't need to explain why, I do get it. When people say, I hope we lose the next few games because it means he's gone. I'm willing to lose the next few so he gets sacked. It's not something I've ever been able to buy into. I always want West Ham to win. Like I said, that doesn't mean I want to get a new contract. I would like to win the next 4 games. I do. I want to win the next 4. I still don't want to get a new contract. I just want to win the next 4 because I want the best for the football club. And that's winning games. Long term, it may be moving David Moyes on. But in the short term, the best thing for West Ham right now, considering he's not getting sacked, is to keep winning games and to challenge in the top 8 of the Premier League. And that's what I want. So the next 6 games are crucial for this. 4 pretty winnable, winnable fixtures on paper individually. Like I said, when you take the bigger picture into consideration, not so much, it gets a bit more difficult. But right now, Nottingham Forest are not in the greatest form. Everton are not in the greatest form. Burnley are not in good form. Brentford's indifferent, but I do think they look a lot different and better, understandably, since Ivan Toney came back. So that's the one I fear the most, even though we're at home. That's the one out of the next 4 I look at. I don't fancy that one. But Everton and Burnley, the latter 2, that's where you've got to be aiming for wins there. Neither in great nick at the minute. We have to be picking up 6 points out of those 2 games. But I want best for West Ham, not what's best for David Moyes, and that's to win fixtures. So the next 6, we've got those 4 games, but we've also got the 2 European ones. So we go Forest away, Brentford at home, Everton away, European game at home, Burnley at home, European game away. At the end of those 6 games, I want us to be looking up with a realistic, numerically, a realistic chance of European football and in the next round of the Europa League. That's what I want. Because at the end of this run of games, we will be played 28 games in Premier League. There'll be 10 games left. That's when you know if you're in a European run or not, if you can challenge for European spots. At the minute, we're 8th in the league. Numerically, we are in a chance of European spots. Form-wise, not a chance. Not a chance. Because the best case scenario is, after all these games, we are in the top 8. We're up there. We're maybe 7. We're maybe above Newcastle. Away to play them. Worst case, we're down in the bottom. We're in the bottom half of the Premier League, and we've got 4 difficult games coming up. Because after this 6 games, we play. Should have wrote this down, shouldn't I? We play Newcastle, Villa, Spurs, and Wolves. That is a difficult set of fixtures. They could be the season defining bit where you decide if this next 6, I think, sets you up for that crunch period, and that crunch period determines if you could get European football or not, because there'd only be 6 games left after that one. Then you'll know if you're in contention. I know people listening to this will be like, you're off your head, there's no way we're getting European football. I get it, I'm also a bit like that as well. But that's why these next 6 games are crucial, because we're slipping. We're sliding down that league table, and we're only heading in one direction, and it's not the one we want to be. We're looking over our shoulders now. I've gone from wanting Man United dropping points to wanting Chelsea and Wolves dropping points. The gap is closing. The gap between us and Man U have increased, and the gap between us and Chelsea has decreased, and I do not like it one bit. I want European football next season at West Ham. I've got used to it. I absolutely love it. And I know people look down on the Conference League when we were in it, when we won it, post-European win. People still look back, goes a rubbish trophy. But I admittedly, it's not the most difficult thing to win. We were favourites. There's no getting away from that. We were favourites and we went and won it. But you know what? I absolutely love winning it, and I'd love to win it again next season. Whoever the new manager is, couldn't think of a better start, actually. Winning the Conference League and getting us into the top half of 10, top half of the Premier League with good football, that would be ideal, wouldn't it? But we've got to be in it to give him that chance of winning it. I want European football next season, and the next 6 games are crucial to A, having it, and B, staying in European football this season. Because if the next 4 games don't go as planned for the manager and he finds himself dismissed, I just pray we're still in European football. So the next manager, whoever's in charge for the remainder of this season, let's just say it's Johnny Heitinga, that's who I'd like to be in charge if Moyes gets dismissed. And that's with a belief that the new manager either hasn't been identified or is unavailable at present because he's at a club. That's on the assumption that one of those 2 things is true. I wouldn't want us to rush the decision of the next manager. I'd rather us take our time and we get it right. That's important. It's crucial we get it right. No panic. If we decide to dismiss David Moyes, no panic. Do not go get somebody that's unavailable for the sake of it. Don't go run out and get Graham Potter just because he's there and unemployed. Take your time and get it right. So in the meantime, what do we do? Well, I think Heitinga, there's a case there. He doesn't even need to make his case. It's there. He did well as caretaker at Ajax last season. He's shown that A, he can be a manager, but B, he can be a caretaker role. I'd imagine being a caretaker manager and a full-time manager there's a lot of similarities, of course, but I think there's a completely different mentality going into it. One, you're planning long term. As a caretaker, you ain't planning long term. You're just focusing on the next game in hand in order to try and get that long term contract. But if it was Heitinga, I want us to be in European football so we can then put all eggs in one basket, which is going on and winning this competition. Do I think we can? Yes, but no. Is it possible? Yes. Is it realistic? No. We need a lot of luck going with the job, but I can't lie. When I seen European football back this week, I started to get a bit excited. I thought, here we go. I'm looking forward to this back in the Europa League. I want it. I want to win this competition. So the next 6 games are crucial. First of all, is to if we can get European football for next season or not. And at the minute, it looks like a big no. But if we can yield a decent amount of points in the next 4 league games, we've got a shout. Maybe a small one, but we've got a chance. And then second of all, it's staying in that European competition. We need, whoever we get in the next round, we need to beat them. Even if Moyes gets sacked, a new manager has to have European football there, ready to go. Because that league games are difficult. And I would understand any manager that came in, if we were in the bottom half of the Premier League, or there's too many points between us and 7th, 8th in the league, he decided to focus on Europe. That's what I'd want him to do. I would want him to focus on winning or trying to win this tournament. Because we're not getting relegated. Worst case scenario, we finish, 14th, 15th in the league. That's a disaster. Between now and then, see, that's disaster stuff. But if it meant that the new manager was focusing solely on winning the Europa League, I think I'd accept that. I would. Doesn't mean we'll win it? No, but I'd get it. The next 6 games are crucial. The reports say the next 4 Premier League games are crucial for David Moyes, but actually I think the next 6 games are crucial for West Ham United. Forget Moyes. For West Ham, I think the next 6 games are absolutely massive. What has to happen for Moyes to get the sack? I don't know. Like I said, I would imagine we'd have to fail to win all 4 and lose at least 2 of them. I think that's when Sullivan would bite the bullet. If we get 4 points, I'd be surprised. Like I said, what we want and what we think will happen is 2 different things. This is a prediction, not a desire. But these 6 games are big. They're really, really big for West Ham. Anyway, I'm going to shut up and disappear. I lost my train of thought at the end there. I'm going to disappear. If you've enjoyed this rambling somehow, please do drop a like on the video by clicking thumbs up. I'll catch up with you tomorrow. It's match day, isn't it? I'm just not used to playing on a Saturday. My days are all a bit muddled up this week, actually. As I always say, I'm looking forward to it. Not really. I'm a little bit worried, truth be told. I've seen quite a bit of Nottingham Forest in the last few weeks, actually. Some parts of the game look really good and other parts they look a little bit iffy. So there's an opportunity there, but it's hard to be confident at the minute, isn't it? Like I said, if I'm pretending I think we're going to win the next 4, I can't even pretend that. I think we'll do well to get 7 points out of the next 4 games. I think we do really well. Brentford's the one that I can't see us winning. Even though we're at home, I can't see it. I think Tony just makes them a different team. But if we want to finish in the top 8 of the Premier League this season, I think we need 7 points. Do I think we'll do it? At this point in time, no. But when you get new data, reevaluate. If we beat Nottingham Forest, you never know. Anyway, I'll catch up with you tomorrow on the build-up show. Traditional 3 o'clock kickoff on a Saturday, so we'll be live at 1:55. I'll catch you then.